Okay guys, this is Sean from Solis Review. Thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to be going over Venom from XM Studios. What a beast. This is by far one of my favorite characters. Venom is always towards the top of my list. Absolutely loved him ever since Lethal Protector when I was a kid. Oh man, he just represented to me like how I felt I wanted to be as my own kind of an anti-hero with that, I guess you'd call it, young kid angst and power and mixing the dark and the light character-wise. I thought he was just so cool. This, for me, is the perfect representation for him. And it's my first XM piece ever. They are a privilege to own, for sure. I've had this piece for just about a year now, so I'm going to give you my thoughts on it. Let's start out with a little backstory. If you're not familiar with who Venom is, started out as, the suit is alive, obviously. It is called a symbiote, and it is a liquid, shape-shifting, kind of metamorphosizing organic fluid that Spider-Man brought from space. It first bonded to Spider-Man and, attempted to bond, and he resisted and got rid of it and removed the suit using sound waves. This made the suit, which is intelligent, dislikes Spider-Man greatly, hates him. At the same time, Peter Parker, the person who is Spider-Man, had a professional enemy in the photography world. Eddie Brock, who is in this suit right here, was a photographer who was doing some illegal activities, some dishonest activities with his professional work with a serial killer, and because of it he got fired, and he blamed Peter Parker, Spider-Man. So both the suit and Eddie Brock hated Spider-Man, and when Spider-Man got rid of the suit, it found Eddie Brock, and when they bonded, almost instantaneously, they became together Venom. So he started out as a villain, one of Spider-Man's rogues, and his powers are very similar to Spider-Man: wall crawling, webbing, but he can also do things that Spider-Man can't. He can, he's much stronger, obviously, and he can actually evade spider sense. So he can sneak up on Spider-Man, which was quite a benefit when he was a villain. His hatred for Spider-Man actually drove him to one day decide that he could be a better hero than Spider-Man, and that he was going to go off on his own. And so he went to San Francisco, and he became the Lethal Protector, the Spider-Man-ish kind of a character for San Francisco. Awesome series of comics that I have. I enjoyed that immensely reading as a child. So that's the backstory for him. There's so much more to it. He's fought almost every character you can think of in Marvel, some in DC. He has, his suit has venomized other characters into their own versions. It's almost a rite of passage now that a character has to be designed to have a venomized look. The character really touched the fan base, for sure. And eventually he spawned further characters with symbiotes like Carnage, and many other symbiotes. All really cool. There have been other iterations of Venom. Flash used it as like a Agent Venom, and that looked very much a like body armor wise. It didn't look so raw and organic. So the wielder, the person that the suit is bonded to, has a big effect on it. There have been Venoms that weren't with Eddie Brock. Mac Gargan and other people have been in the suit and trying to beat Venom, but I don't know that there's any beating actual Venom with Eddie Brock. So design, there has been a Venom movie. This has nothing to do with it. I enjoyed that movie, but you know, I really would have preferred to have, even though it wouldn't necessarily make sense, I preferred to have the symbol on it instead of kind of the Ultimate Universe Venom. So, this has nothing to do with the movie. I would say that depending on which of the heads you use is which, you know, comic and writer and artist that you're referencing. It speaks very clearly to the comics, to the origins where Spider-Man got rid of the suit at a clock tower. There are clock tower elements in the base. It seems like he's, you know, kind of overcoming what is his biggest weakness, which is sound. He's destroying the clock tower kind of a thing. So the XM piece comes with 2 additional heads. One is a very cool transformation piece with Eddie. It looks awesome. I love the detail in the eyes. I love the teeth. I personally have this thing about Venom heads, Venom teeth. I really dislike it when I see the teeth go out. I feel like it doesn't make any sense for Venom. I like the teeth that make sense, that they look like they're useful, and this looks just like that. There is also a McFarlane head, really cool. I personally prefer the long tongue, but this is more his original appearance. And let's go with the height real quick, just so we can have that. He's not an insanely high piece, but he is big. I would say at his tallest, which is part of this arm here, he's just under 23 inches. For the width, which is going to be from hand to hand, I'd say it's just about 21 inches. And the depth, if you've got the head on with a tongue, that's going to be the longest, and that's at just shy of 20 inches. So pretty square as far as height, width, and depth. I'm going to do another walk around review like I've been doing. I think that that's a good way for you guys to see what I'm talking about while I'm looking at it, instead of you having to imagine. So I got that from Mr. X. It was it's a great inspiration, and so I'm going to keep trying it. And yeah, let's get to it. Okay, here we go with our close-up review here for Venom. Okay, let's start off with the base. I think that the base is painted really well. It definitely looks like clock pieces. I love a lot of the textures that I see for the cog pieces here. They're not just flat like they could have been. There's like a muddiness around everything that I think works well. Sometimes in pieces where they have like kind of a gravelly mud, like kind of a thing, can seem really washed out, but I think it works well for what, you know, a destroyed clock tower. And I see a lot of what, like, you know, painted brass pieces kind of a thing here. Now, let's keep moving. Okay. Good paint effect for the cogs, like I said. Let's move up here. The Venom, I guess, I don't know, tadpoles or eels or whatever these are. The sculpt is good. Some of the paint effects are a little odd. I don't understand why the teeth are black, where on Venom the teeth are white. But, you know, okay. It's got a good change in the shimmer from flat to glossy here that I like. Let's see, moving to Eddie, the texture on him is really cool. It's not just flat everywhere. You can see that there's ripples and veins that they have painted here, and it's pretty consistent with having the paint effect on here. Muscularity is great. There's a texture to it that looks like it would be, you know, rigid and hard. The toenails, I think, are really cool. Same with the fingernails here. Love those effects. They make it look like, you know, almost real nails, like on this hand right here. It looks like, you know, very living nails. It's not just pointy black. Look up here on the suit. Looking at the suit, I think it's an interesting choice that the spider symbol is kind of like, it goes in instead of out. I don't know that I would make that choice. I think it works. It looks good, but it looks like, I don't know, it's odd, like it was cut into him instead of a symbol that's laying on top of him. Either way, it's pretty clean on the paint. Looking from behind, you can see in a lot of the you know, biology here, a spine segment there. I guess super muscular glutes. His leg looks great. Like I said, the texture on the skin is really cool to me. Looking at here. Okay. The hand is less subdued into things as the spider symbol. Kind of interesting. You'd think it would follow the same, but it looks good. Going around here, it follows consistently with both the texture, with the glossing. You do see the seam for the head, but it's right where a fold would be, so it's really not bad. Tongue is fantastic. I think, personally, I would have added like a green, you know, saliva goo kind of a thing, but I've heard people say that they don't like that. I like it. It was actually explained in the comics recently that that is his body's processing of organic material that he's eaten. I think that the eyes look really cool. There's definitely, it's not just all white. It's got shade in it. There's depth to it. The mouth, the tongue is removable here. And you can see a lot of details up in there that are really cool. The tongue itself is cool. The tongue, you can tell, is a different material. And I've had a piece of the tongue actually come off paint-wise that I had to repair. I think it might be because it's actually a different material. Looking at the arm, I, again, love the texture, love the nails, really, really cool. For the head, the magnet is really strong. It's a really good piece. I'll show you real quick with the Eddie transformation head, which would be probably my second display choice. Really cool, really different. I love the eyes. And then the last head that I'll show you is the McFarlane, which is kind of his original appearance. It's cool too, don't get me wrong. I don't know. I don't like it as much. A lot of people love it. That's great, and nothing wrong with that. Again, fantastic piece. I'm gonna go back to the regular review, but I love this piece. There's not a whole lot I would change about it. Okay, back to the review. Okay guys, we're back. Like I had said, fantastic piece. To me, this is the ultimate Venom. There are so many Venom sculptures, Venom statues out there, customs, a few licensed for sure. For me, none of the licenses beat this one. And honestly, I think it beats a majority of the customs too. It is a fantastic piece. Made me fall in love with XM and showed me that I absolutely needed more. There really isn't a whole lot of knocks. The only thing, like I had said in the video, that stand out to me is the side symbiotes here didn't make a ton of sense to me. I think in some of the newer stuff he's using things like that, but for me, I'd never really seen too much of that in the comics, just him. Carnage uses more weapons. Venom uses essentially just him, his body. I'm not familiar with these. These look like more like they're from the darkness to me. The only other knock that I had said in the video was, while the clock tower piece, it makes sense to have clock tower pieces in the base. It's been said by other people, but it is a little odd how it's pointed, like he couldn't back up on it, but you know what? It's a very small detail. I think it, all in all, is one of the best pieces I have ever owned, and I will never get rid of it, and it is absolutely worth the cost, which I believe right now I've seen them for about $1,500 US before shipping, of course. So it's definitely not something you get willy-nilly, so, but it's worth it, absolutely. Okay guys, well, that is it for my Venom review. Please like, subscribe, share. Let's keep this channel going. And please, if you have any questions, make sure to message me. It's one of my favorite things. I will talk to you guys soon. This is Sean from Solis Review. Have a great night.
We are Venom.